Good morning and happy Friday Eve. I want to start this video off by telling you guys thank you and that I am proud of you because it is the end of March and we're in that long stretch where we do not have a break from school. So the teacher burnout is real right now. We are all on the struggle bus, and I want to tell you guys that we are appreciative and we are so thankful that you are still prioritizing this movement and this group. So this video is to give you guys some updates. You know that I absolutely love lists, so I'm giving you a list of our 3 most recent updates. Update number 1 is that the Senate met yesterday, 9 a.m. on Wednesday mornings, like they have been for a while now. I want to give a few shout outs. Shout out number 1 is to Senator Hembree because he was incredibly receptive of everything that was said, and he has been for this entire time in these hearings. I also want to give a shout out to Senator Shaheen because at one point we were talking about a lot of wording issues and wording amendments, and he stopped and refocused the group on things that actually mattered in the bill and things that would impact teachers and students. So I really appreciate what he had to say there. Also, shout out to Senator Talley because he brought up some really great points about how ridiculous it is that we test the lower grade levels for college and career readiness, and it did cause quite a stir in the meeting room and lots of conversation. So I really love that he brought that up. I also want to give him a shout out because he participated in the Senate versus House baseball game last night. He was one of the very few senators that were able to make it out there. So if those are your senators, Senator Hembree, Senator Shaheen, or Talley, even if they're not your senators, please reach out to them and tell them thank you for what they're doing for public education. I also want to give a shout out to Christy Schrader. These meetings are at 9 a.m. every Wednesday, and she has been to every single one. She is our representative for our parents and friends and families of SC for Ed. She has a family. She has a very busy schedule. She is just as tired and exhausted as we are, and she still goes to these meetings. The meetings where they take testimony, she gives testimony. And even when they don't take testimony, she's right there in the front row in her SC for Ed shirt. So we appreciate you, Christy. Update number 2, a section was added to the bill to give teachers 30 minutes of uninterrupted planning / lunch, which is awesome. Hembree says that this section has to be flexible because we can't create a one-size-fits-all mandate because that wouldn't work for every single school because they all function differently, so that makes sense. However, he is going to be working on some wording to be sure that districts won't tack on extra contractual hours or extra duties in exchange for or in response to those 30 minutes. So super appreciative of that. Now that in and of itself is amazing, but here's the even better part. That section was added on because of you guys. Hembree says that there was not one hearing or meeting that he went to where that issue was not brought up. Not being able to use the bathroom, not being able to eat lunch, being on our feet all day, not having a moment just away from the kids. He even brought up a certain testimony that someone gave in Gaffney at that public hearing. He says that a lady stood up, turned around towards the audience and said, "How many of you guys have refrained from drinking water because you knew you wouldn't be able to use the restroom?" And he said that educators everywhere raised their hands. Guys, that stuck with him. That is what inspired him to add this section to the bill. So if you're the one that made that testimony, because I just know that that person was an SC for Ed, thank you. It really worked. So our testimonies are really hitting them hard, and we've got to keep it up. And then the third update is our updated call to action. Here's what you need to say to senators. We need you to take your time and get it right. We want to work with you, and we want to make this a meaningful bill that will truly impact and benefit teachers and students in classrooms all around South Carolina. Please don't pass the bill in these last 6 weeks of the session. If there is a vote to put this bill on special order, please vote no. Give us time to work with you and give us time to get this right so that we have a great bill that we can all support in January. That's what you need to run and tell your senators. You also need to take this message into your community so that they can also call and ask this of the senators too. Nicole sent out a remind message this morning that had that in it. It's also on our Facebook, on our Twitter. Pretty sure it's on our Snapchat, Instagram, all of that. So go find it, screenshot it, and then get in contact with those senators and community members. So that is it for now. I will continue updating you with any changes, but until then, stay tuned in and stay ticked off.